main thing is that you ask leading questions. So I would say, Steve, how are you?
I'm just fine.
As he drops his pen. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me about the wreck. I know you've probably heard a lot about it, but I wanted to see, first of all, how are you doing?
Not good.
Not good.
I've lost all my money on the stock market.
Now, I find that hard to believe that you've lost all of it. But I will admit that the markets have been a little challenging lately.
Yes, they have. So, yeah, I'm doing fine.
Good. And Debbie's doing good, and
as much as we can expect.
okay. Well, I can live with that. I'll live with that. Well, I'm here to talk to you about the wreck. I understand you have a connection with the wreck. I'm not sure that I completely understand how you got involved with the wreck and some of that. Can you tell me how you got involved with the wreck and why?
Financially, I've supported the rec or the YMCA since I came back from pharmacy school and was involved with the pharmacy. When Whistle and Shirley Spillman 30-some years ago came to us and said, we want you to help us put on an auction. The four of us became co-chairs, and then after Will Welsh came to town, they asked me to be on a committee searching for a director, and I was on that committee, and we hired Will Welsh, and as soon as we hired him, he asked me to get on the board.
Wow.
And I don't know if I've been off since then.
How many years ago was this?
20?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a long history and connection with the wreck.
And after I was involved with this was all the Y, and I was put on the board as a president, and then we started having problems with the national YMCA.
So you went through all of that
and
transformation.
Ben and I worked together to help get the rec established. And I was the president for several years on that. And then
that wasn't an easy task, I'm sure.
it wasn't, but I'm committed to the rec. For some reason, that thing is in my blood.
So do you use the rec regularly, or
Hell no.
you just like
That's
what it does?
exercise.
What it does in the community then?
I like what it does for the community. And yes, I did use it at times when Nautilus was new, and Debbie gave me what she thought was a Christmas present. Nautilus, but no, once in a while we'll have gone over for something, but I don't normally.
So tell me, I'm curious, what do you see the rec contributing to the community? If you say you believe in it for what it does for the community, what do you see it doing for the community?
It gives families and children a place that they can go, a safe place that they can go and work off their frustrations, do their exercise, get into something. I know exercise is important to a lot of people, and they really get into it. I mean, I've got employees that just live by being able to do the rec.
I'm not one of those people.
Me neither. But in other words, I see what it has done. I've seen cases of over the years, and that's why I say I'm committed. I have a desire for public education too, but and have dedicated a lot of my time when I was on the school board. But this is something that as an owner of a business in town, I'm hit up a lot, and this is one that I'm, I guess the rec or the auction probably did as much to turn me around and really put me as a dedicated person for the rec.
Yeah, special events are hard to work on. It requires a lot of extensive labor time and to make the event successful and fun that people want to participate in and get the right things. Yeah, it's hard work. So you talk about the fitness part of this. Is there, I know when it was the YMCA, you had lots of leadership and kind of educational things. Do you feel that the rec does that sort of contribution to the youth and to the overall community now?
I think we do what we can with what we have. It's amazing how the leadership has gotten volunteers. Sure, I'd love to see more. It needs to be cleaned up. It needs to facelift and it's a building that's 50 years old. And so, there's work that needs to be done on it. I know that. And I think a lot of the community knows that. But I see people talk about the rec. Some of them do, some of the new ones in town. I think it's like a lot of things we have in this small town. We've got some great stuff, and it really causes the hair on the back of my neck to come up when I see somebody say there's nothing for people to do in Paris, or nothing for kids to do in Paris. And I see all that we have. But it just needs some help, but it does a great job with what it has.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, because that's one of the reasons I'm here. We have an amazing opportunity with the rec right now. I don't know if you know that or not, but we have an amazing opportunity. Several years ago, we had to close the pool. It was just too costly and needed some maintenance that we were just unable to provide as an organization. But thanks to the Hassler family, and I'm sure you know them, we have a great opportunity to reopen the pool. And the wonderful thing about their gift is part of it is a match, and part of it will help us sustain it for operational purposes for a long time, allowing our organization to grow and to take on that fiscal responsibility that we know we're going to need that we didn't have before. So it's a win-win all the way around. And we would like for you to consider being a partner with us in this. Become an investor. We are looking for multi-year pledges, and we would like to see you be a part of that. Do you think that's something that you would be interested in participating in?
It's long overdue.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
You say 3 years?
We're looking for a commitment. We want you to give from here. We want you to consider a very meaningful gift to this. We haven't had a capital campaign for the rec in many, many years. And we want to get a really good jump start. COVID had an impact on our operations as well as any. And we see the rec as having a really great role in rebuilding some of those lives, the community, and everything post-COVID. And we want people to make a very meaningful investment in this project. And if that means spreading it over multi-year, that's what we'd like for you to do. I'm not sure where you see yourself in that campaign, but if you would consider being a partner and an investor in this, we're looking for a commitment of, I know a little bit about you and some of your operations. Would you consider a gift over multi-years of $75,000?
That's all you want?
If you would like to give more, then that's what we would like to do. I know that you're a small business owner, and we would like for you, whatever is going to be meaningful for you. But like I said, you can spread it over 3 years is what we're looking for. And depending on what your commitment is, it may open up an opportunity for us to name something if recognition is something that's important to you.
The middle urinal?
Well, I'm not sure that would be appropriate. I'm not sure that would be appropriate, but if you would consider that, you know, look at a range here. If 75 is kind of a little lower than you're thinking, then we can look beyond that.
Well, first of all, Jackie, as you've heard me say, I give from here.
I'm glad, because I do too.
You know that.
You know, I had somebody once tell me that you should, they said, oh, you should give until it hurts. Someone else told me, no, you should give until it doesn't matter if it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will do something. What I want to do is, what are you doing with, like, I've got retirement money that I'm going to pay taxes on, and I don't want to do
We can help with that.
You can.
We can help with that. Do you have some IRAs?
I've got IRAs and I've got 401k.
Okay, and you're probably at the age where you have to take the mandatory distribution. We can do that through a rollover if you would like to do that. Absolutely, we can do that. We can take really a gift of any asset.
Okay.
We have the mechanism to do that, and so we are happy to help with that. Work with your professional advisors, and we can do that. Would you like a few days to kind of think about it and let me follow back up?
Debbie and I need to talk and see what we want to do.
And maybe get with your advisors and see, you know, what makes the most sense of what asset to use. We also, if you would like to make some of your commitment in a current gift, that's obviously very welcome. But if you would also like to start thinking long-term, this campaign is going to be transformational for our organization. And we are really going to be stepping up our efforts in doing continual fundraising beyond the auction event that we do every year.
Oh, so you're going to send me a card every
Well, I don't know that it'll be every month, but yes, we will be keeping in contact with you, not just for solicitation, but to provide you information as well, because we know that you're not going to give to anything that you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to have that communication with you on a regular basis. But as a part of that, we're now in a position where we can also accept estate gifts. So as we move along, now that you're going to be a part of our family in a deeper sense, because you're making a deeper investment in us, we want to have that continual conversation. And as things progress, we'd like for you to consider, you know, your future legacy here in the community. And if the rec is a part of that legacy, I want to assure you that we have the mechanism to accept those type of gifts as well.
You want to turn me into Warren Buffett. die penniless.
Well, I don't know that that's the case. That may be Warren's choice, but if you should choose not to be like Warren and meet your demise penniless, we are happy to accept anything that you may want to leave behind and disperse to others.
You're trying to do this over a 3-year period of time, but when do you need the money? If you're going to do the
Anytime within that 3-year period. Obviously, we'd like to have it sooner than later. That helps us with some of our planning.
Okay.
But we know that whatever is good for you is going to be good for the rec at the end of the day.
Do you have commitments from other bigger money people?
Oh, absolutely. We're working on those now. I'm not the only one out talking with people. We have a committee of people that are out doing that. And we have people at a variety of levels. We have organizations at a variety of levels. You know, it's not just individuals we're approaching other foundations, other businesses, things like that. We have a structured plan that we're working through. And obviously we're working with the larger gift commitments now. I always compare it to a jar of pennies. You put the large bills in first so you don't have to put as many pennies in the end. So yes, we're working on those larger commitments now.
Okay. All right. And, any major changes in the rec?
Actually, the changes in the rec, I would say, are good changes, or some of them are going to be. We have a consultant on staff right now that's helping us be prepared for this growth. So, and part of that is working through some policies of how we are going to handle some things. And so we've made some of those changes. More of those changes that require more discussion are coming in the days and weeks and months ahead. And so, yeah, those are going to be some of the changes in the organization that folks may not really see, but are happening, that's going to strengthen our organization overall, that will make fundraising easier and be better for the donors in the end.
Well, let me talk to Debbie.
Okay.
You got some information for me?
I sure do. I've got a campaign brochure I'm going to leave behind here. I think you'll enjoy looking at it because it's got a lot of pictures from the past that will be, I think, a nice walk down memory lane for you because you've had so many years involved with rec. And then I've got a pledge form, and I'm also going to leave you a legacy form just so you can see what that looks like as we, start this journey together. Like I said, down the road, if there's an interest in making the rec part of your legacy in the community, you'll have that form available too. It's non-binding, but it'll give you a sense of the type of things you may want to consider.
So that's not, that can show my intent, but it's,
right.
I still have to have my lawyer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And on that form, it's got the language. So all you have to do is take that with you and it's simply, you don't even have to take it to your lawyer if you don't want to. If you have an asset that you just simply need to add a beneficiary, we've got the correct language so it goes to the correct entity. You just simply finish out that beneficiary form with that name and you're done.
So I don't actually have to change my will?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You could do, now, I don't know exactly who you want to remember in your life, at the end of your life, whether it be individuals or organizations. I also don't know what assets you have. The rule of thumb I use is to make a list of all the people I want to take care of in my estate and a list of all the assets I have. Then I draw a line between them based upon the tax consequences. So, for instance, life insurance is non-taxable to an heir. So you wouldn't probably use that for a charitable gift in your estate. You could, and if that's what works best for you according to your advisors, certainly we would be able to help with that. But something like a retirement account could pose a tax issue for them with income tax. So perhaps to avoid that income tax to them, that might be something you leave to a charitable organization and leave the life insurance to them. But those are things that your advisors can help you with. But I encourage you to look at who you want to take care of first. I know you've got kids, you've got a grand dog, so, think about those things. And then, again, that's down the road. If you wanted to be part of this campaign, we can certainly do that. And as we work together, in the years to come, we have all sorts of things that we can help, maybe some things that can be income producing for you. But right now we're looking at the commitment for this particular capital campaign, and that can be your legacy as time goes on. This isn't a one-time meeting, Steve. You're going to get pretty used to it.
I was going to say, if I have any questions, who do I call? You?
You can call me, or you can call the rec and talk with Erin, the executive director. We're in contact a lot, and I know she's very well versed in things. We have lots of resources and people for you to talk with, whoever you feel most comfortable with.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming by.
I appreciate it.
As always, you're in my pocket.
Well, and you know what? I think I'm okay with that because I know all the good you're doing with that. This is an opportunity we have. The rec, as you've said, look at the impact it makes in the community. And with you signing on and becoming a partner with us and investing in what we're doing, you're gonna strengthen the organization, you're gonna strengthen the community. Look at the impact you're gonna have just on the youth alone. I mean, getting that pool open. Remember when we used to do swimming lessons? You know, we're gonna have an aquatics program, so now we're gonna be able to do those things again. That's huge. So you're gonna be making a big impact. So if I'm in your pocket to do those things, I'm okay with that. All right, thank you.